I confronted the man leaving notes on my car, and his eyes were cold. I was terrified as I opened the front door and found another note on my car. Mike and I had always loved our quiet suburban street in Maplewood. We were friendly with all the neighbors except for one Greg from the house at the end of the block. He always seemed a bit odd, but lately, things had taken a dark turn. I had tried to be friendly with him, inviting him to our block parties, but he always declined. He kept to himself, and there was something unsettling about his constant surveillance of the neighborhood. I had seen him watching from his window, binoculars in hand, more times than I could count. He never waved back when I greeted him, and his house was always eerily quiet, except for the occasional bark of his old dog, which never seemed to leave the yard. I had even caught him taking photos of the neighborhood kids playing in the street. Mike had laughed it off, saying Greg was just eccentric, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. One time I had even found a note on my door warning me about the decaying tree in my yard. I had dismissed it, but the incident had stuck with me. It started with small things. A note on my windshield telling me to check my tires. I ignored it, assuming it was just a mistake. But when I found another note a few days later saying I should be more careful, I started to worry. I showed Mike, but he brushed it off, saying it was probably just a prank. I moved the notes to Greg's lawn, but he never acknowledged them. I started noticing him more often, always watching from his window. One evening, I was walking our dog, Max, and saw Greg standing in his yard, staring right at me. I waved, but he just turned and went inside. That night, I found another note on my car, this one with a single chilling word. Stop! Mike still thought I was overreacting, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. The next day, I found another note, this time with a crude drawing of a car with a big red X through it. I showed it to Mike, but he just sighed and said I was being paranoid. I started to notice more strange occurrences. Our mail was sometimes misdelivered, and I swore I saw Greg's car following me when I was out running errands. One night, I woke up to the sound of Max growling at the window. When I looked out, I saw Greg standing in his yard, staring right at our house. I called out to him, but he just turned and walked away. I tried to convince Mike to call the police, but he insisted that I was overreacting. I started to feel isolated, like I was the only one who could see the danger lurking in our quiet neighborhood. I decided to confront Greg. I knocked on his door, my heart pounding. When he opened it, his eyes were cold and unblinking. Follow so you don't miss part 2.